So let's begin, as we always do, by sitting as the pathway in. So when you think about establishing your base now, adjust yourself so that you're even across the buttock bones. Of course, you can sit in Virasana. There's a natural compacting of the hips, especially if you do with the yoga pata around the caps of the knees and the top of the sacrum. But I want you to sit in such a way that the spine is both tall and supple, not rigid and not short. So use your hands on the roots of the thighs to pronate the palms into the tops of the thighs to establish that very, very good lift to the side walls of the chest, but really in essence to the spine. And then perhaps to feel the spine more, just fold the palms in the center of the chest into Namaskar Asana. We will do Paschima Namaskar, reading what we were just talking about, with the hands behind your back in this sequence. Press evenly across the palms. And now as you close your eyes, sense that you're feeling the median line of the spine. So this hand position that allows you to go from the side walls of the chest to the spine, in essence, decentralizing. Allow the eyes, even though they're closed, to release from the inner corners to the outer corners. And then if you'd like, you can release the palms down by the roots of the thighs to once again feeling the compactness of the hips and the ascension of a supple and tall spine. See if you can be fully present with sitting and not reserving any attentiveness or energy for anything else other than presence. Resting easily with a felt sense of the body sitting, the whole body sitting, the whole body breathing. Allowing everything to come and go. See if you can cultivate a welcoming environment within yourself. Relaxing, any grasping, not holding on. Welcome patience and kindness, whatever way life is expressing itself now. And then you can repeat the Bodhisattva vow, or perhaps the personal vow you've made. May I be a boat, a raft, a bridge for all beings to cross the flood. May I be a resting place for the weary. May I be medicine to all who are sick. May I be a lamp in the darkness for those who are lost. And may I do so as long as earth and sky and galaxies exist, until all are enlightened. I vow to be here to serve them all. And ready, you can, if your head is down, you can lift your head up and gently allow your eyes to open and stretch out your legs. So we're going to do 2 Shavasans, both of which we did on Tuesday. The back Shavasana, and I'll just quickly demonstrate it, and then a Shavasana for the hips, since many of you have emailed me about your hips and about your back. And what I would say is if anyone wants something a little bit more active than doing 2 Shavasans, you can do child's pose and then dog pose at least after the first Shavasana. One of the reasons we do Shavasana at the beginning of the class is to basically allow your fragmented self to come together. So you can do it in this way with the bolster on the tall side at the roots of the thighs, because this way you get the head support if you need it. You get the traction in the lower spine versus putting it on the shins. We also put it on the abdomen, but really as a Shavasana for the back, it's done in this way, okay? So we'll all start in that manner, and then those of you who are not, I'll show you the hip Shavasana because we haven't done that very often, but you will need a bolster for that. Okay, so we'll spend some time here, and I hope many of you are doing this Shavasana. That's good, Jasmine. You can use head support. Welcome, Lana and Catherine, and Julia, Ellen, Marina, Marina, I was thinking of you. I will email you later about, I had taught the chair back bend, and I know that you were, last time we spoke, you were making an inquiry about the chair back bend. So I can show you a picture of it. Okay. All right, that's good, Rahel. Yeah, have the feet apart, always for the back, never together. The legs, the feet could be belted, but they don't have to be. The outer edges of the feet. Ellen, this will feel good. Ellen, if anything is too much of a stretch today, it's like Tuesday, you'll avoid that. As you did on Tuesday. So this is what we'll say, this is the Shavasana for the back. You can feel the traction, the lengthening in the lower spine. Just have the arms down by the side so that the brain can be quiet. Yeah, and then you can have the hands on the bolster and then initially let the arms go to the side. You're just doing the hands on the bolster on the roots of the thighs, the bolster's on the roots of the thighs is really just to get traction, then release the arms down. Good. So just to explain, I explained this, Val, you remember on Tuesday, we're going to a path to revolve flank stretch, Pavrita Parjakanasana, but in a rather, I would say, unusual, creative way to get there using chair twists. So that's what we're doing today. And also using Parjottanasana as a platform. Parjottanasana, intense stretch of the sides, is classically done before forward bend sequences and even back bend sequences because it starts in a back bend. But we're going to take a detour and do it as a path to revolved flank stretch, which is a standing pose considered one of the most challenging standing poses on many different ways to do it. So I hope that those of you kind of, when you hear revolved flank stretch and kind of just go, oh no, this will be a palatable pathway for you to do it in. And just allow yourself in this Shavasana, because we have been doing Shavasanas at the very beginning of the class as a way to come together, as a way to merge the body, the breath, and the mind. Again, be aware of not sleeping on the spine, not pressing the upper thoracic spine into the floor. And if you feel like your spine is going to a dull state, simply bending your arms in such a manner that the elbows are pressing into the floor, the forearms are up, will help you kick the dorsal spine in. That's it. Valid. Yeah, that's it. Observe if the exhalation is getting any longer, not willfully changing it. It'll change on its own as it usually does in poses like this and poses that are exhalation forward, like Supta Baddha Konasana. The exhalation forward poses are really helpful for those of you who have anxiety, if you feel stressed. It's really good to do supine exhalation forward poses, like Supta Padangusthasana 2, like this one, like Supta Baddha Konasana. All right, so now to come out of this, just simply remove the bolster on the roots of the thighs. Take your knees into your chest, Dvipada. Open up the back of the heel and the feet. Okay, now I'm going to show a pose for the hips, a hip Shavasana. If any of you want to do child's pose and go to dog pose for 4 minutes, that's fine. You probably won't be there 4 minutes. So this one, what you're going to do is take the bolster. This will receive your heel hinges. And I just want to point this out because I might have you do Supta Padangusthasana 1 in this way. So when you're doing this hip Shavasana,
It's just the heel hinge, not the lower leg that's on the bolster. So the legs are elevated and the thigh bones feel like they're floating in midair. So we'll call this hip shavasana. Sometimes we belt at the greater trochanter. Sometimes we belt at the outer edges of the feet. Now, if you don't want to do a second shavasana, again, you could do child's pose for a minute and then dog pose for about 3 minutes. So this is particularly helpful, Rahel. You can try this hip shavasana with the heel hinge supported. Others of you, just the heel hinge, not even, yeah, Ellen, yeah. Just, so it's just this, you know, the back of the heel. It's not the lower leg on the bolster. It's just it's the way, and I'll show you, we do this in Supta Parivrishtasana 1 when the pelvis is supported. And again, if you want to do dog pose, start off with child's pose, and then go back and forth to Uttanasana or just stay in Adho Mukha Svanasana. That's good, Andrea, just the back of the heel. So for those of you who've had some hip issues, it's an interesting thing to feel now. The legs are elevated, the skin moves to the bone, and it feels like the femur heads are floating, which can be quite nice. That's good, Jasmine. Yeah. With the, for a hip shavasana. Again, those of you who know how to belt at the greater trochanter, where the pumpkin and the cucumber are, that's the place that the hips would be belted, and or second belt if you had one across the feet. So just giving you some options, Rahel, if you want to do that with 2 belts. Or with one, could be at the hips, or you could just have one for the feet. The main thing for me is not so much, you know, that you just have these in your toolbox. It's more about that. Although I have to say that starting with shavasanas are really just a wonderful pathway from fragmentation, which is our constant state, our habitual state, never being present with what's happening. So yeah, that's good. Now I will say, if you feel that the legs are hyperextending, you could support the calf flesh with a little bit of roll. When the legs are elevated, it feels like your knees are hyperextended. Val, the way you have it is good. Yeah. You could even try it less right above the knee and just a thin roll behind the knee or even behind the calf. Yeah, that's where I would go, behind the calf more. So that, because the propping up of the blanket lifts the calf to the shin. Okay. Otherwise, just the heel hinges are supported. And then those of you who are doing dog pose after having done child's pose, you'll all join us in Supta Parivrishtasana 1. Which will be active. Okay, so just again to put the back shavasana, the hip shavasana, take Dvipada, everyone, on your back just for symmetry. Because actually these are good for back and hip. And then of course, Supta Parivrishtasana 1 is also for the back. So have a belt and have a block. We're doing Supta Parivrishtasana 1 2 ways. So, and also a bolster, because I do want to show you to support the heel hinge. One of the things I observed Tuesday was that many people, when we put the block underneath the pelvis, their other leg, the leg that wasn't aerial, was lifting off the floor. So have a bolster, have a block, and have a belt, and start in Supta Tadasana at the wall. So you're here. And then you're extending one leg and then the other. So you get the same traction that you did in the back shavasana. So this first bit, you can even see, even as we spend the 15 minutes or so early on, this is for back therapeutics. So you're in supine Tadasana with feet at wall, block, bolster, and belt are handed. Just so you don't have to get up. Show you that's it. Okay, wait there. All right, now we're doing a few rounds of Ekapada Padangusthasana, which is also wonderful for the back. So you're going to take the right knee in, hold the shin, or the knee if you have shorter arms. That's good, Val. See if you can aim over
several rounds to get the leg closer into the chest, and then go to the left side. Extend through the core of the heel. And then repeat, I'd say about 8 rounds with movement, aiming to merge the leg with the chest. Inhale against the resistance of the abdomen moving back. That's how you'll get the leg and the chest to come together. The Ekapatas and the Dvipadas are wonderful to do. And the Dvipadas I like to insert between the Ekapatas for symmetry. When you're taking each leg in, remember to flex the foot so you're getting a bit of a foot workout as well. Really spread the toes. Okay, now take Dvipada after you've completed the alternating rounds. Wait there. Keep the right knee in, extend through the core of the left heel. Have the belt and place it across the ball of the foot. Start at 90. So now I want to bring your attention just to the metrics of this, because the metrics of Sukta 1 is really the starting ground, the platform, if you will, for the rest of the class. So I want the legs straight, no knees, the side ribs even, the right hip moving into the median line, not out to the side. Okay, once those have been clearly established, then begin the abdominal work that you just did in Ekapada, Padanguttasana. Begin to move the leg toward you, toward the chest. But keep the metrics of straight legs, no knees, side ribs even. That's the main thing. Some of you will benefit by pulling the toes down and lifting the heel up so that the back of the knee is open. Pull the toes down, lift the heel up, toes down, and then move the leg. Keep the leg in line with the shoulder, not allowing it to cross over the median line. Go to your max, whatever that is. So maybe it's, 100 degrees, maybe 115. Good, Julia. Yes, you can put your left hand on the left thigh. You can employ any of the methods we've done over the many, many years and months. These look good. Now, observe as the leg moves toward you, that's an abdominal effort. The abdomen draws back to the front of the spine, and then just hold the strap with the right hand. Put your left hand on the window, top to bottom of the left groin. So you can see that we're opening that left groin, which will get further opened throughout the sequence and when the pelvis is raised on a block, be it low or medium side. Okay, and now take Dvipada for symmetry. Both knees into the chest. Wait there. Again, merge the legs with the chest. Open the feet. Okay, now extend through the core of the right heel, left leg in, Ekapada. Place the belt on the same part of the foot, and then find those same metrics. Legs straight, no knees, hips balanced. You'll need this in standing Parsvottanasana. And the sequence today, just to again reiterate, we're using Parsvottanasana as the path to coverage of Parsvakonasana. Okay, now keep the metrics and begin to move the leg. Don't let the left hip move out. Side ribs even. Leg in line with shoulder. Observe the difference in the two sides. Keep your right heel down. As the leg moves beyond 90, observe what's happening at the root of your left thigh, right thigh. Imagine you were standing on 2 feet doing this. That's the first stage of Parsvottanasana, which is just upright, not in the concave back and not in the deep forward bend. Now again, you can hold the belt with the left hand. That's it, Andrew. Put your right hand on the right groin and open it top to bottom. Don't let the left hip wander. The left side of the rib cage wants to get shorter than the right. Don't let it. So the root of the left side has to press back. The indent at the greater trochanter of the left hip has to move in. So the side ribs, the metrics pertain as you move. Yes, and the right hand can stay on the groin for awareness of that groin opening top to bottom, which you'll see more on the next round. Now take Dvipada. Have the block nearby, have a bolster. So this is what I want to show, similar to what you did in the hip shavasana. So we'll tie those things together, which we did not do on Tuesday. So now you're doing Supta Padangusthasana 1 again. You won't stay quite as long. You'll have the block underneath the pelvis. You can do it on the low side. You can do it on the medium side. I just misplaced my block. So just imagine I have my block underneath my pelvis. And then you're going to put again, your right leg will go up. So it's just the heel hinge on the bolster. And this will prevent you from doing something like this, which is what we saw on Tuesday, but I didn't have time to get to it. Okay. All right. So the block is underneath your pelvis. It's on the low side, could be on the medium, especially for those of you who have more open groins. Now take Dvipada with the feet on the block. Dvipada with the block underneath the pelvis.
Do you mean the block this way or
Yes. No, underneath the pelvis. Yeah, that way, Rahel. Not on one tipped over to one side. That's it. And now just support the heel hinge. So now your right knee is in and your left heel hinge is supported on the bolster. This will prevent many of you from letting that left thigh fly up. That's good, Val. Okay, now put the belt on and take the leg up. Can also be done with the, you can do it the way Jasmine, that's a really good, I have the bolster at the wall. That's it. So your heel, Andrew, you can put it on the cylinder there, the blue piece, that might work. Or just to simply, if you don't have a bolster, you just use a roll blanket. Yeah. Okay, but Julia, good. Now begin to move the leg. Ellen, that's good. Keep that left leg straight, right leg straight, no knees, hips balanced. That's it. So just to alert you on this path, when we step back further in Parsvottanasana, that's why we're doing it. And we do it with the chair. So everything we're doing now, you will see standing. Good. Observe now, even though the right leg will, your mind will go to the moving part. At some point, it doesn't need to. Bring your attention to the left groin and open it. Good, Catherine. Open the left groin. Move the leg beyond 90. So the pelvis being elevated is like doing a chair back bend, Marina. When the pelvis is elevated, it's more of that chair back bend shape, and that's helpful for the groin. So for those of you who have tight groins, doing Supta Padangusthasana 1 this way is really helpful. Val, that's really good. Really good. I know the left side is different, but this is your inner heels are moving further and further and further away. So I can see at this angle. Okay, change sides. So I'm just pointing this out because to me, it's not so important to it's not an issue about, of course, we want to do the poses as wisely as we can, but to know why we're doing it is really important. Okay, so now for the right groin, left leg up. Supporting your right heel hinge, which will help you keep that right leg, good, Jasmine, straight. That's it. Right leg is straight, so is the left leg. Hips balance. Ellen, right above the knee, press it back. Just really, so that, right above that left knee, press it back. If your right leg is bending a lot and that root of the right thigh is flying up, you might consider bolster at wall. Marina, that's really good. Bolster at the wall is helping for sure, or supporting the right heel hinge with a little bit more height. so the thigh doesn't fly up. Okay, now take Dvipada. All right, now from here, place the feet flat on the floor, lift your pelvis up, press the feet, move the block, and take the block, and we're going to do Tadasana with the block. Have a belt nearby. We're doing a few arm positions. Let me get the block. So now Samastiti, Tadasana with the block held from the outer hips. We're getting that compactness in the hips. You can join the feet or the feet can remain apart. Squeeze the brick from the outer hips. Squeeze the brick. Press the feet strongly into the earth. Lift the arches, lift the kneecaps. Suck the outer shins in, but move the inner knees away. Make your spine tall from the compactness of the hips. All right, now you're going to turn to the side in profile and take the arms up to Urdhva Hastasana. You can take the arms out to the side. Okay, don't let the thighs come forward. Sense that the brick is moving back. Good, Ellen. Take the arms overhead. Now see if you can move the arms further back, but move the top of the sternum forward. Top of the sternum forward, good, Julia, but the arms back. Arms back, top of the sternum forward. Be mindful of not lifting the buttock flesh up. The buttocks belong to the legs. These are good. All right, now take your hands, so the back of the hands are on the crown of the head. Let the elbows part, Urdhva Badanguliasana. Stretch up through your thumbs, through your fingers, especially the thumb side. Move the arm, good, Rahel, arms back, top of the sternum forward. Thighs are moving back. Buttock flesh is moving down. Now take the hands to the crown of the head. Change the cross. And now reach up through the thumb side, index finger side of your hand. Arms back, top of the chest forward, thighs back, buttock flesh down. Good. All right, now release the arms. And now take your belt and make a small loop. And we're just going to break the belt. I'm showing you this position for those of you who are unable to do Paschima Namaskar, where their hands are pressing into each other behind the back. You can do this when we get to Parsvottanasana. So the arms, notice what I'm not taking my arms much further back. They're basically pretty much in line with my hips. And then I break the belt with my wrists. So try this. If you take the arms too far back, you won't be able to turn the skin from the inside out. Okay, now you can face me. I want to see everyone from a frontal view. Yeah, still with the block between the legs. Turn the skin. So again, if you have the arms like this, the deltoid pitches forward, and we don't want that. We want the skin to turn from the inside out. So keep the arms pretty much in line with the hips. Okay, now turn to the side, and I'll see from the side again. Marina, can you just adjust the camera so I can see more of your upper arm if you get a chance? Yeah. Turn the skin. You have to imagine I'm in front of you turning the skin. If again, Lana, it looks like your arms are too far back. No, not that way. Closer to the to where the sides of the thighs are here. As though you were, just let the kind of the arms hang down. Because otherwise, if they go far back, the skin turns the opposite way. All right, now release the belt. All right, try this. You're bringing the hands in Paschima Namaskar. So again, you don't want the arm, you don't want to start with the arms like this. You can't turn the skin. Let the arms just straight naturally down by your side. Then at the level of the waist, take the hands up. Okay? All right, let's see.
Those of you, Winnie, if you can't get Pashima Namaskar, use the belt with the, if anyone has any kind of cyst on their wrist, just break the belt. Use the belt, thighs back. You're still hugging the brick. Now see if you can get the thumbs to come together and then track the hands up higher and higher in the upper back. And now look up. Kick the dorsal in with your hands. Keep pressing the heels down. Good. All right, so many of you are able to do this. Now bring the chin back to parallel. Okay, release the hands. Well done. All right, now just be sideways to the wall and take Uttita Baddhasana for the frontal groin. Uttita Baddhasana. We've done this a lot in the many, many months. So just to let balance not be an issue, just place your hand either on the chair or a bed or at the wall. See that your thigh, your right thigh is parallel to the left thigh. See that your right knee is in line with the left. Now everyone has to lift the sides of the pubic bone up a lot because the chest is coming forward. So the chest is moving back, thigh is moving back, buttock flesh is moving down. When you see if you can bring the chest back and the thigh back so you're not tipping. Okay, change sides. If you can hold the foot with both hands, that's fine. Okay, change side, left leg in. Use the wall so that balance is a non-issue. Good. Marina, watch the thigh because he's going out. Do you feel it? Lift from the sides of the pubic bone. See if you can get the knee, left knee aligned with the right. That's it. And then strongly lift the sides of the pubic bone. So this is for that, again, that same groin that we had access to in Supta 1. This is the frontal groin. 2 weeks ago, we had 2 different lessons on frontal groins and inner groins. Nancy, that's good. Okay, now release the leg. All right, now you can face me as you do this. So now because the frontal groins have been open, I want you to lift your right leg. So now it becomes more of a balance issue. Try not to let the trunk go back. So you're aiming to get the knee like an Ekapada Pavanuttasana, 8 times to the right, 8 times to the left. So now you'll have to recruit your abdominal muscles so that you can balance. Lift the leg high up, but it's bent, even higher. Unless you have a hip issue, you're on the right side and then you're on the left. Lifting about 8 times. Jasmine, that's good. You got the knee in line with the collarbones. And then left leg when you're ready. Lift, lift, lift. Lift as high as you can. Aim to get the top of the knee up to the collarbones. One side might be easier than the other, especially if you have a hip issue. All right, now you're going to the top of the mat, so I can see it in profile. All right, and you're going to do basically what you just did 8 times, but since we start on the right leg, you're going to lift your left leg up and then extend it back. The second time we do this, we're going to do the same exact thing, lifting one leg up and then going back even further and further to the first stage of Parsvottanasana. Now watch everyone, because we didn't do this on Tuesday. So in this first stage of Parsvottanasana, that's the name of the pose, intense side stretch, you're going to use your hands almost like, you know when you go into a pool and you have your hands on the cement around the pool and you're kind of pressing your hands down in the pool to get out of the water? That's what I want you to do. Or if you've never been in a pool and done something like that, you can imagine you're doing upward facing dog, okay? All right, so let's try in that manner. Stand at the top of the mat, feet together, have the memory of the brick still there. Lift the arches, suck the outer shins in. Make your spine supple and tall. Supple and tall. All right, now lift your left leg up as high as it was in the repetitions and then extend it back. All right, so remember the metrics of Supta 1. That's why I went over this. Legs are straight, no knees, hips are compact. From the compactness of the hips, that's how the spine gets tall. All right, keep your lower spine, everyone, perpendicular. Many of you are pushing the organic body forward. So here's your lumbar. This is your lumbar spine.
The lumbar spine in Parsvottanasana, it's not doing this. It's not this pose. The lumbar spine is perpendicular to the floor. Did you see? Not this, it's this. So use your hands like you're getting out of a pool. If you've never gotten out of a pool that way, imagine you were doing upward facing dog to get the lower spine to lift. You have to get the tallness in the spine. All right, now like you did a moment ago, look up. Chin up, look up. Chin up, look up. Andrea, watch these. There's a little bit of pushing the organic body forward with your thumbs, like just where you zip it up and move the buttock flesh down to the backs of the knees. That's better. Just imagine I'm standing in front of you, Andrea, and my hands are on your navel, drawing you back. All right, now kick forward with the back leg. I'm glad we're going to step back and do it another time because some of you had a little bit of a short stance. Okay, join the feet again. This time you're lifting your right leg up and then step back. Step back. All right. Now wait there. Back heel is down. Now see if you can suck the outer hips in. Even though this one leg is forward, one leg is back, have the memory of the brick that you did in Tadasana. It'll also help you to put your thumb and index finger at the corner of the greater trochanter. All right, now do the same action. With your palms, press your hands down and make your spine upright. Your entire spine, your lumbar spine included, right? The thoracic spine is moving slightly into the chest. And now look up from the eyes of the chest. Marina, you'll in the next round, you'll go a little further back. Watch the back leg, Ellen. Keep it straight. That's it. Look up. Matt, your hands can still be there as though you're pressing the cement sides of the pool, as though you're hoisting out of water. Good, Andrea. Okay, now kick forward with the back leg. Well done. And up you come. All right, now like Supta 1 that we did with the block underneath the pelvis, now we're going further back. So we're going back to the right side, so this will make sense. You're lifting the leg if you want to do a few repetitions in that manner, and then really go back far. Really go back far. For some of you, it might help to be at the wall, but sometimes you don't get a straight shot. All right, then we're going to take the hands either into Paschima or use the belt. Okay, so if you're using the belt, Winnie, just put it around your neck so you don't have to, come out of the pose after you've worked so hard to get the stance. All right, so here we go, top of the mat. So now this is just think you're doing this now for your left groin. Lift your left leg up a few times, which is good for balance, incorporating balance in, and also the arch. And now really reach it back, Marina. If it helps you to keep the back leg, Ellen, straight at the wall, then of course you could step back. All right, now keep the leg straight. Remember the metrics of Supta 1, leg straight, no knees. Those of you who can, bring the hands in Paschima Namaskar. All right, otherwise you're breaking the belt. Now remember, legs straight. I'm reiterating this a lot. Hips compact, and then make your lumbar spine tall. Ellen, inch out with the front foot a little bit. Inch out with the front foot. I will say, here's the thing, guys, what I'm seeing on the screen. Some of you have your decentral, let me just show it. Well, let's just go on it because I need to address something. Keep the leg straight, leg straight. Now, those of you in Paschima, fine. Otherwise, your hands are breaking the belt. Now look up from the eyes of the chest. Get the compactness on the hips to make the spine tall. To make the spine tall. Okay, and now bring the chin back to parallel kick forward with the back leg. So watch. So this is this may seem like a moot point, but I just want to explain because this is pretty interesting in the evolution of the pose. If your leg, let's just say your left leg, is too far away from the right, you lose the compactness in the hips. When you lose the compactness of the hips because my legs are decentralized, then it's hard to get my spine tall. So actually, I really want to get either a heel arch alignment or a heel to heel alignment. Otherwise, you lose the compactness of the hips. Now, there are reasons to decentralize the leg. Believe me, there are many reasons, but if there is no reason to do it,
Then I would go with a heel to arch, Rahel, you're shaking your head, or a heel to heel alignment. Because when I do this decentralized, there's no way I get the compacting of the hips. So Ellen, that was, I think that might have, that perhaps will help you on your left side. Okay?
But you said it's heel to heel alignment. So when you do what you said, the compacting, where it's, you want the heel to heel alignment, or do you want heel to the middle of the back foot?
I think either one, Rahel, would be fine. I was making it quite dramatic by doing this, you see? But people do Parsvottanasana with this, and my point being that if it's too decentralized, Rahel, then you cannot get the compacting of the hips, and then you can't get the spine to be tall, okay? And then if anyone's unclear, we'll talk about it on the other side. So we'll just finish up this further back way. All right, so now you're lifting the right leg up. Lift, 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 and then step back. Stay with it. Okay, why are we doing it this way? Just so that your mind is not getting foggy and fragmented. We're doing this for the frontal groins. Ellen, that's good. That's it. Get a heel to arch, as Rahel said, or a heel to heel. Now there again, if it bothers your hips, then you have to walk out the left foot a little bit more out to the left. All right, make your spine tall. When I mean spine, I mean the whole spine, but particularly lumbar spine. And then take the hands into Vashima or break the belt. Winnie, break the belt, yeah. Watch the back leg, keep it straight. Make your spine tall and look up, look up. Nancy, that's good. Marina, inch out with the front foot. You could go a little bit wider. So inch out, yeah. Because if the back heel is at the wall, then the only way to get the stance longer. Good, Lana. That's a good wide stance. Look up. Make your spine tall. Your abdomen should not be coming forward. If I were in your room and I had my hands at your lower abdomen, it should be drawing back into my hands. Well done. Okay, now release the belt, step forward, repeat Utthita Baddhasana without the wall. Freestand. Nancy, just try it freestand. You can just touch go. So it becomes, yeah. So many of you, and this is what I observed Tuesday, when you bend the leg, you see how the thigh goes out. See if you can just lift up the leg and then don't let the leg go so far out, and then strongly lift from the sides of the pubic bone, because otherwise you have to go, it's like doing something and then readjusting. Marina, see if you can get that right knee in line with the left and lift strongly. Good. Now hold the foot. Hold the foot so you get as much for your groins, good, Alan, as for your shoulders. Good. You can turn to the side so I can see as well. I'll see all aspects. Yeah, that's good, Lindsay. All right, change sides. Utthita Baddhasana is such a utilitarian pose. You can use it for a gazillion things, but it's, primarily for the frontal groins. All right, these look good. Lift, lift, lift from the pubic bone, buttocks down. All right, and then release. All right, so now we're going to do, so just to reiterate, we've done a lot of, this is more for terms. We've done a lot of Parsvakunchanasana. So this is sideways, Parsvakunchanasana. It's really for opening up the inner groins. But we're doing, and you can put the chair against the wall, front facing Parsvakunchanasana. So watch. Now, many of you will need a block because, as I've said many times, in this front facing and in Parsvakunchanasana, the knee is slightly higher than the groin. And I'm very close to the wall. My right hip, it's not touching it, but it's quite close. So this is front facing a Kunchanasana. And then we're going to come into Utthita Marichyasana 3. And I think, unlike what we did on Tuesday, we'll do that all on the right. Okay, so make sure your foot doesn't slide away. Put a mat on the chair seat, and you're standing facing the right knee in front facing a Kunchanasana. That's it. Andrea, step in a little bit closer so that your foot is directly underneath your left groin. That's it. See that you're good, Marina. The right hip should be very close to the wall. The knee is over the ankle. So, Catherine, it looks from my angle that you're doing Pajra Kunchanasana, leg out to the side. This is a front-facing one. Front-facing one. Yeah, but step in a little bit closer. Yeah. Okay, now take your hands onto the wall for Utthita Marichyasana. Andrew, you can use the bed, and then see if you can keep pressing the root of your left thigh back. Don't let the left thigh come forward. And then sense that you're pulling the wall down as you turn your trunk toward the wall from the left to the right. So that's it, Rahul. Your hands are pretty much in line with the shoulders. Jasmine, I think that the leg, your left leg, can you get it behind the chair seat? Not, it looks like in the side. Okay, so I'm just gonna show this again. So watch everyone, just take a look. So I have my backrest at the wall, and then there's a mat and the blank and the block. And then I'm very close to the wall. So I'm just taking my right foot on the chair, and my left foot is directly in line with my left hip. So this is front facing. I'm facing my right leg, and then I begin to turn. All right. All right. Now, with that said, go to the other side, left leg on chair seat. Yes, you have to turn around the chair. That's good. Ellen, be careful so it doesn't, I don't want it to, hopefully it doesn't slide off that ottoman. Yeah, the knee slightly higher than the root of the thigh. Nancy, that's good. Now, as you turn to the left for Utthita Marichyasana, turn toward the wall, sense that your trapezius is moving down away from the ears, and then turn. So we're starting in the front facing, Pajra Kunchanasana, good. And then you're turning. Winnie, just step in a little bit with your standing leg for Utthita Marichyasana 3. There's different ways of doing this for back issues by heeling out and toeing in to spread the sacrum, etc., etc. Okay, now release the leg. All right, now we're going back to the front way, but this time you're going to step back. So mindfully, this is what you're coming back to where you were. Now, step back further, right? So now, remember I just asked some of you to bring the foot in line with the left groin. Now the foot is much further back than the left groin. So we'll start upright, and then you're going to hook the left elbow on the outer right knee, and again, turn. So those of you who know Parivrtta Pajrakonasana, this is Parivrtta Pajrakonasana with chair. A very good way to do it. All right, so now, like what we did in Pajrakonasana, you're stepping back a lot. That's it, Andrea. Okay, and then you can raise both arms up. Make sure you have stability, right? You have to really be with that back leg. And now sharp exhalation. Aim the left elbow to hook the right knee and use the wall to turn. That's good, Ellen. Yes. Turn toward the wall. Turn toward the wall. Winnie, watch the knee. See, the knee is going back toward the chest. See if you can bring the knee over the ankle. Hands, you can adjust the hands wider apart. For those of you who have tight shoulders, taking the hands wider might help. Andrew, you can work with the different stances in the hands. Okay, change sides. Nancy, that's good. All right, change sides when you're ready. Step back mindfully. So now your left leg is on, knee is over the ankle. Step back like you did in further back. So it's kind of like a lunge. Start with the lunge position. Lunge, lunge. But don't sink in the lower spine. If you step too far back, it'll feel like I don't want to get too complicated with this. And then hook, hook, and then turn. For those of you who feel that your shoulders are lifting and trapezius is ascending, then aim the hands wider apart. Use that good Val, that principle of decentralization. Ellen, that's really good. You can lean in, lean in.
These are really good. Such a nice way to do Pavrita Parshvakonasana that's palatable for people. Now mindfully take the left leg off the chair. All right, now you're going to sit in the chair, have the backrest to the right, and we're doing chair Pashasana, noose pose. So we'll do, let's do 2 rounds of this, and let me show you this. So this is what I call the chair anatomy. This is the backrest of the chair. And then I'm sitting in the middle of the chair with the feet hip width apart. And then to, again, make the spine tall and supple, you can stretch the arms overhead. I'm turning to the right, aiming the left elbow to just what you just did at the wall, hooking the left elbow at the outer knee. Now use the backrest. So the right hand's on the backrest, and I'm lifting my abdomen up and over, lifting the abdomen up and over. And then we can turn the arm as we did in Paschima and aim to get the hand to the floor. Have a block nearby just in case your hand doesn't come to the floor. So show me in profile, which would be the very best way, as the way I have it set up, and turning to your right, okay? All right, so let's start. Sitting in the middle of the chair. Ellen, I know it'll be a little bit harder in the ottoman. Just make sure you don't fall off. All right, raise the arms up. Make your spine supple. Lumbar spine tall. Thoracic spine moving in. All right, now aim to get the left elbow on the outer right knee. You can use the backrest, good Wayne, to turn. All right, now close in the gap. You see here's a big gap between my left side and my legs. Close in the gap, lean in more. Lift the abdomen up and over. You will feel this in your organic body. And then turn the skin of the left arm inside out and aim to get the hand either to a block, the floor, or you can even use it on the front rung. That's good, Lana. Now watch the chin, because the chin tends to close in close to the sternum. Can you move the chin away from the sternum? Move the chin away from the sternum. So you're getting length in the side walls of the chest. Okay, and then come up. All right, and change sides. Now I'm glad that you got up and walked around. That's a little bit of an inside joke. All right, take your hands to the roots of the thighs. Lift your side ribs up. Take your arms up. Reach up. The reason why I'm doing this in between the 2 sides, because after you've twisted in that deep chair Prashasana, there's a feeling of the organic body getting smaller. So use your arms to get width across the organic body. And then sharp exhalation. Aim to hook and then see the gap. Close in the gap by excavating. Lift up and over, up and over, up and over. Aim to get the hand to the front rung, block, or floor. Keep lifting up and over. Fill in the gap. Jasmine, good. Fill in the gap. Nancy Moore, fill in the gap. All right, now move the chin away from the sternum. That's it. So right here, I should be able to see your collarbones. Fill in the gap. Fill in the gap. Well done. And now come up. Well done. Now watch. We're taking the chair in this manner. Again, the back rung to the right. So like the lunge, we're sitting in the middle of the chair, finding that compactness. Rahel, if this doesn't work for you, then you can do Pavrita Parshvakonasana either at the wall the way we did or from the floor up. And then we're hooking, hooking, turning, hooking, turn. Pavrita Parshvakonasana with chair. If it doesn't work sitting on the chair, repeat as we just did at the wall, like Uttita Marichyasana 1 and then some, or Rahel, if it doesn't work on the chair, because I know you pointed out that the warrior 2s didn't work, you can do it from the ground up in this way. Okay? All right, otherwise you're on the chair, right leg's in front, knee is over ankle, back up the back leg, be on the ball of the back leg, and then left arm comes up and over, hook, up and over. Oh, Rahel, okay, you'll try it on the chair. Up and, Winnie, that's really good. So remember, Andrea, it's the same. Remember, it's opposite arm, opposite leg. The right leg's in front. It's the left arm, Andrea. Left arm.
left arm. Yeah, and then the other hand is on the hip or on the chair. Nancy, these are really good. That's it. Marina, see if you can walk the foot. It's tracking further out from the knee. So I have the foot, yeah, the foot is in line over the knee. Catherine, if it doesn't work on the chair, do it from the ground up. Okay, these look good. And now change sides. Well done. If it doesn't work, go back to the way we typically do it from the ground up, or you can come into it from Virabhadrasana 2 or Virabhadrasana 1. All right, left leg is in front, arms up, good, Ellen. Now sharp exhalation, right elbow, good. That's it. So the chair can be a very beautiful way to do this pose. Be on the ball of the back foot. That's it. And then sharp exhalation. Use the backrest, Jasmine, to turn. And then chin away, back heel up, lifting a little more in the back knee, Jasmine. Back leg is, that's it. Lift up. Nancy, really, these look really good. Of course, it benefits, you know, those of you who were here with me on Tuesday, you can see the advantage that you get when you're doing the poses again, right? All right, now slowly come out. Now let's do this because it feels like there was a lot. I feel, what are they, that empathetic, the heart is resonating with you all. Just come on your back and untwist. Do Supta Padangushtha, do Supta Baddha Konasana this way. Have a belt nearby, just flat. And then we'll take the Supta Padangusthasana 2 with the belt, keeping this right leg, left leg bent in Supta Baddha Konasana, just so that you're untwisting yourself. Nancy, I sense that it was that if it's a lot of twisting, it's good in some ways. This will kind of bring you out of your organic body out of that. Okay, so Supta Baddha Konasana, just have the belt nearby. Yeah, so now the soles of the feet are together, relaxing your inner thighs. Good, that's good. If it's unsustainable, Catherine, you can put the blankets at the corners of the outer thighs, because I want you to stay for a little bit. Just, this is a way of letting the organic body have a reprieve from the twists, because you've been twisting a lot with the chair. See how we got to Parsvarkonasana. There are certainly many, many ways to do that pose, but we got there from taking Parsvarkonasana as a platform and stepping back, stepping back, stepping back. You might come back to it from the floor up after this reprieve. Okay, now have the belt, put the belt across the ball of the right foot and take the right leg out to the side. I remember what I said about exhalation forward poses, of which these two are. Many people stop breathing in twists, like back bends. They really stop breathing. They don't breathe as fully as they would be breathing now in Supta Baddha Konasana and Supta 2. So now the right leg is out to the side, but the left leg is still in Baddha Konasana. So you're getting the spaciousness good in the organic body. Andrea, I have the leg a little bit more. I can't see the lower leg, but it looks as though the leg is too far out to the floor. Yeah. Remember, you have to be even across the body bones. Part of doing Supta Padangusthasana 2 in Supta Baddha Konasana is to create a balance in the pelvis. Your right side should not feel like it's bearing more weight than the left. If it is, then take the right leg up toward the direction of the ceiling. Good, Jasmine. Now take the right leg up, come back to Supta Baddha Konasana and change sides. Just a different way of doing Supta 2 from Supta Baddha Konasana, creating an evenness. Now that's good. Yeah. So remember, if you put your pelvis on a scale, the left side should not bear more weight than the right. Even yourselves up. Good. All right. So I think we'll come back and do, because I want everyone to be able to know many different ways of doing revolved side flank stretch. So we did it in the chair. We did it standing up against the wall. Those were 2 ways. Now here's a third way. Watch. You're going to come back up. Watch. So
will bring you full circle. So here again, the front leg is the knee over the ankle. Do you see? I'm gonna back up my back leg, back it up. Rahel, be careful because I want the top of the sacrum parallel to the floor. Some of you may not be able to get this far down, all right? Then we're going to hook, all right? And then you'll bring the hand to the floor, to the block, and then some of you can come up. Nancy, if it's impossible to come up, don't, all right? All right, right leg in front. Now back up the back leg, which is a little bit hard, to the degree that you can. So remember, we use this as a lunge position. All right, now compact the hips. Make sure you get the compacting. So here's, you want to keep the pelvis balanced side to side. If it's not balanced side to side, if the sacrum feels lopsided, then bring the back left leg in a little bit closer. Okay? And then, Rahel, if you've ever not, the other thing that can help is putting a blanket across the root of your right or left thigh as well. Okay, now hook. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Okay, now again, turn the arm from the inside out and bring the hand down to the floor or down to a block. All right, now tuck the back toes under, good, Julia, and charge the back leg. That's it. Lift it up. Head back, head back. Okay, these look good. Jasmine, that's really good. Good, now come down and change sides. We're not staying long. This is from the lunge position, left leg in front, knee over ankle, back up the back leg to the degree that you can. If you can insert the blanket between the root of the thigh and the trunk, which helps, especially if there's a hip issue on the left side. Now, sharp exhalation. Cross the left elbow over, excavate, fill in the gap, turn the right arm from the inside out, and then if it's possible, Nancy, you have it now. That's it. Lift the back leg up and keep the leg straight. Ellen, be careful on this one. Lift the back leg up. Chin away from sternum. Chin away from sternum. Okay, these look good. And now come down. All right, now have a blanket, everyone, and we're going to just do the leg position of a seated twist, Ardha Matsyendrasana. So take your blanket in such a manner, folded Sarvangasana. And then you're sitting back. I'll show from behind. I'm sitting back on my left foot. Catherine, I'll give you an alternative. You can do chair Bharat Vajrasana. And then from the front, I'm crossing the right shin in front. And then for those of you who feel like you cannot stand on the back foot, then put the blanket across the foot and you'll sit in Ardha Matsyendrasana leg position in this way. Catherine, you can be in the chair for chair Bharat Vajrasana if it's too hard on the knees. All right, so you're sitting back on your left foot and watch, Andrew, so the right foot is crossed over in such a manner so that the right shin is perpendicular to the floor, which means that the foot is not shaped in this sickle position. You really have to press the big toe and the inner heel down and then give a good lift to your spine. So this is Ardha Matsyendrasana. Catherine, you can just sit in the chair and do chair Bharat Vajrasana. You'll do a little bit of the twist because this Ardha Matsyendrasana can bother the knee. You can do chair Bharat Vajrasana, or I can show you or send a picture of Ardha Matsyendrasana with the block. Okay. All right, now stretch out your legs, everyone, and change sides. So you're sitting back on now the right foot and you're crossing. If it's difficult to balance, then insert the blanket across, good Ellen, the buttock bones and lift up. Yes, Jasmine, that's fine. You know the twist, you can do it. I'm just doing the leg position because we haven't done it in some time. The other possibility is taking the foot, as I'm doing, Catherine, out of the alignment and sitting between the heels. Okay, and then lift up. Julia, that's fine. Do the twist. Rahel, you can go for the twist. Ellen, see if you can get your shin more perpendicular. We're just doing the leg positions, but those of you who know Ardha Matsyendrasana can proceed to twist. You can also do it facing the wall. Yeah. Nancy, that's really good. Just the twist, just the leg position. So, you know, when we teach seated twists, they have many different stages. This is the very first stage, like we did Parsvottanasana first stage. All right, now release the legs. Probably next week I'll teach more of the seated twist. And now what I'd like you to do is go back on your back, and we're going to do Supta Panagustasana 1, 4, 2, and 3. Okay? All right, on your back, have a belt. And so 1, we've already been to 1, then we're going to 4, which is here, and then 2 out to the side, and then 3 is the crossover. These should come rather beautifully having done what we've done. Sometimes Patricia will teach this whole cycle before Parivrtta Parsvottanasana. I personally like it after. All right, have a bell. You can do it at the wall, starting 1. We're doing all to the right in that order, and then we'll go all to the left. All right, so we'll start in 1. Good. We won't spend as long in 1 because we've done it twice already before. 4 is what I want to look at because of what we did. All right, now come into 4. Can do figure 4, but because it's at the end, I'd rather have you do the hooking under method or holding the foot, putting the right foot in the crook of the elbow. It should come rather easily now. That's it, Joya. Hook under Val, that's it. Or right arm in the back of your head and you're holding your right big toe with the strap. So that's Supta 4, good, Alan. All right, now go to 2 after 4. Supta Panagustasana 2 after 4, see what comes. Good. Yes, a figure 4, you know, if it's hot, you know, if you couldn't get the other 2 ways of doing Supta 4, fine. But it's interesting to do this sequence after doing Supta Panagustasana 4 after this sequence. These are good. Okay, now take the leg up, hold with the opposite hand, the left, and now stay on the median line and cross the right toward the left, but turn your abdomen to the right. So the right leg is still straight. That's it. Turning your abdomen left to right. Marina, see if you can get the right leg more to 90-degree angle to the chest. You might have to bend the right leg to do that. Yeah, now you see when you bend it, Marina, how the thigh, yeah, and resist the inner thighs away from each other so the groins don't crisscross. Now take the leg up. All right, same thing other side. 1, 4, 2. 4 often improves 2, but 4 should have been a little bit more palatable having done the sequence that we did. Okay, wait there. 1. Relax the throat. That's it. And then 4. When you're ready, 4. That's it. Hook under the left shin or bring the left foot into the crook of the right elbow and left arm behind you into Gomukhasana, or the figure 4 is possible. If the left hip is very tight, Catherine, that's fine. Stay with the figure 4 then. All right, now from 4, go to 2, which is a beautiful way to come into 2 from 4. 4, that's it. And I would say that, you know, you don't always have to do like 1 on the right, 1 on the left. Doing the full cycle to the right with movement, full cycle to the left has a lot to offer the body. Okay, now bring the leg back up, hold with right hand, and now stay on the median line, resist the inner thighs away. If you have a hip issue, you would insert the belt right at the inner left thigh, resist the inner thighs away as you cross the left toward the right, but turn right to left. Resisting the inner thighs are held away from each other. Strong resistance of the inner thighs. Anyone who has a hip issue on the left side, resist the inner thighs. So the left inner thigh belongs to itself, right? inner thigh to its side. The groins don't crisscross. Okay, now when you're ready, come into child's pose. And we're going to come into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Some of you already did it. We're doing the active dog pose when we're in Shavasana. You can see dog pose also doesn't always have to go at the beginning of the class. This is a classical sequence to start, beginning a sequence starting from child's pose to dog pose. But many sequences, dog pose comes in the middle or comes again, and then we go up to Adho Mukha Svanasana. Observe if there's any lightness in the pose now toward the end of the class. If you're getting tired, you can do head-supported dog pose as a possibility. See that your outer shins, remember all the work on the shin-centric sequence. Outer shins in, but inner knees away. Heels down, shins up. Now see if you can bring the feet toward each other. Now because we did all the work on the frontal groins, see the symmetry in your hips. And now lift the right root of the thigh up, maintaining the hips balanced side to side. There should be a lot of freedom as you lift that right leg up, having done what we've done. Because basically you were in this pose in Supta 1, that's it, Rahel, and Parshvottanasana. There should be great lightness. Now descend the right leg. If you need to come down and rest. And then you'll come back up. Otherwise, lift the left root of the thigh. Lift high. Lift high, aim well. Okay, now take child's pose. If you are resting, you can go back up and do the left side. Otherwise, child's pose. I think I'm going to repeat that one so you really can appreciate what I want you to get away. Glean from this sequence is that there in dog pose and one-legged dog pose, there should be a lightness. If you're getting tired, then just rest with your chest supported. Otherwise, take it from a prone position, Adho Mukha Svanasana, just for change of pace. Coming into plank, pushing the floor away. It's too much on the abdomen, all four. Okay, and then come back to dog pose. All right. All right, now let's do this. I alluded to when you were pressing the hands down to being in a pool, come into upward facing dog. You don't need your hands on blocks, upward facing dog. So that was the action of the hands that I alluded to in that first stage of Parshvottanasana. Now go back to dog pose. I made an image of coming out of a pool, but also the Urdhva Mukha action of the hands. Ellen, you can just go to dog pose, yeah. Good, Val. All right, now everybody's in dog pose, having just connected the dots here with the hand positions. Draw the feet together. All right, now see, the leg should just fly up. Lift the right leg from the root of the right thigh. Keep the symmetry of the hips. One-legged dog pose. And now descend the right leg. And now lift the left leg up. Let it fly up. I know it's the end of the class and you might be getting tired, but sense that freedom in the groin. That perhaps, Ellen, that's fine to do it that way. That may not have been there if we had done it earlier in the class. Okay, and now everybody rest anterior, chest supported in child's posing, putting the bolster between the thighs and resting with your chest on it. Catherine, you can just stay on your back, yeah, because this is hard on your knees. Winnie, you can go prone if you want. Just support your chest, Ellen, good. And just have the arms not so much overhead to alert the brain because we're going to Shavasana, just either beside you or out to the side. Or yeah, the way you have it, Jasmine, with the arms bent, hugging the pillow is fine. So now what I'm gonna ask everyone to do is they can do either the back shavasana or the hip shavasana. The back, remember there's two shavasans that we did at the beginning? You have a choice. When you go prone, and if neither of them are palatable, then you don't have to do it. But see if, we did two shavasans, now you have a choice just to, again, sort of cement your memory. Okay. And Winnie, you'll do the prone shavasana. If neither is good, you can just go, but you can do shavasana just on your back or prone, or put the bolster. Ellen, that's good. Once again, see if you can settle down, settle back, arriving, landing in this present moment. Moment to moment attentiveness. If your eyes are moving around a lot, put a bolster across the forehead, or some of you see an eye pillow. See that the neck is long, spine, thoracic moving away from the floor, not sleeping on that upper spine. Lumbar spine in its natural concave position. Moment by moment, not ahead, not behind. Just this body, just this breath. Quieting the mind, not through force or will, but through love, kindness. Calming and relaxing the body. Opening to the way things are, not to how you want them to be. No need to fix things, to analyze things, to manage things, to make things other than the way they are. Seeing how thoughts and mind states rise, they exist in the mind for a brief period of time and pass away. Go of views, of opinions, attachments, sessions, ruminations, opening up to space. As you open up to space, allowing other things to emerge. Making space for fresh, new responses to arrive. Even in this very short time of Shavasana, or if you're sitting, you can see that it's all a passing show, existing in time and space for a very, very short period, and then vanishing away. And when you're seeing in that way clearly, you can see the absurdity in holding on. Nothing less. Now, for those who might consider transitioning to an upright posture, please do so. If not, just stay where you are, relaxed, comfortable. Seeing the nature of the mind, seeing the nature of all thoughts, all mind states as impermanent. Why hold on? When you're ready, simply allow your eyes to open and stretch out your